What is up, guys? It is TimBit here with a Campfire Storytime episode. And these series, I'm going to be telling you stories about my life that could be interesting, weird, funny, all that stuff. So this episode Storytime is the time I got ISS, which stands for in-school suspension. I'm pretty sure most schools have it, but ISS is basically where you go to a room for the whole day of school, obviously for something you did bad, and you have to do work assigned by all your teachers. Now, I'm a good student. I don't really do anything bad at school. I go to school, I do everything I have to do, mess around with my friends, and go home. But of course, there had to be this one time where I apparently went a little too... It was the beginning of the school year last year, and the last period of school I have is Italian. And most classes, the teacher usually picks where you sit, and the seating arrangement were rows, so I sat all the way in the back, right corner. And luckily, one of my friends was near me. And then there was this other kid who I kind of knew at the time, and let's call this guy Bob. So Bob sat directly in front of me, and honestly, I don't really know how I felt about this kid during this time, but every class I would come in and then be really freaking annoying to him, which is kind of my personality at school in a way because, well, it's ninth period. Ninth period is the last period of my school, and nobody wants to be there, so my mood is kind of the same, and I'm like, screw it, I don't care what I do. But anyways, at the time he was kind of my friend, so I thought he was just joking with me like I was. And now that I described everything, let's get to the nice and juicy stuff. So one day there was a substitute in our class, and we were assigned work, of course, like every substitute does. I believe I got it all finished, or at least I didn't care for it because the handouts they give us are usually never graded or anything. So I got really bored, and I decided to start poking Bob with my pencil on his shoulder. And I kind of forgot how this part went, so just bear with me. He started to get really annoyed, but at the same time, it looked like he was laughing and having a good time. I really couldn't resist, so I just kept on poking him, and I know it's a jerk move, but hey, remember, it's ninth period, I don't care, screw it, so let's move on. All that happened, and then this girl to the left of me decided to get involved as well because she saw it happening, and she was like, "Hey Bob, what's going on?" And I didn't want to get in trouble, so I spoke for him and said that it was fine. So, also, now there was a ton of bad kids in my class. Basically the whole freaking class. Everybody just felt like doing whatever they wanted to. They all fooled around, thought they could do whatever, and basically, now everyone is just doing anything they want. My friend is in front of Bob. I guess you can call him a little crazy, and he just does whatever he wants. Decides to get in on the whole trying to have some fun, but seems a little annoying jig. Let's call him Joe. For the rest of the period, this is basically what happens, and then there's one more thing, the thing that gets me ISS. I kicked Bob's butt on accident with my foot. So yeah, it seems pretty stupid, but trust me, it leads to much more. The next day, at the beginning of first period, just doing my work, having a horrible time, tired as heck because it's first period, and then I get called down to the office, like, what, why am I getting called down to the office? I'm super scared. I have no clue why I was getting called down. I thought what I did yesterday, I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm not gonna do this anymore, I'm gonna stop annoying Bob, and that's it. So, when I went down to the office, I was scared, wondering, and then I saw Joe was there, and I was like, what? Why are you here? What could this be about? And I was really confused. So the principal brought me into his office with Joe, and we sat down. He started talking about the whole incident, and I was like, what? Are you kidding me? This is what it's about? I get called down to the office for this? I tried explaining to him that I kicked him on accident, but he clearly didn't believe me for 1 second at all, because he was like, don't lie, we have lots of proof that you poked him with the pencil. I didn't. I kicked him. Come on. At that point, I knew I couldn't fight back because I would have gotten in more trouble than I already was in. So we talked for a little bit more. Joe told his side of the story as quote-unquote guilty as I was, and we were put in a room for ISS the whole freaking school day, 7 hours. Literally every thought on my mind I had right after he said we were going into ISS was that this is the worst possible thing that could ever happen, and I don't even remember, but it was so mad, dude. So we got into the room. We were told to do work from every class, which I happened to finish all of it, halfway through the school day, and Joe barely even did so. And then I just kind of sat there. I didn't really do anything. I probably just took a nap. And that's basically it. The next day, there were a couple teachers that are concerned what happened. I felt really weird telling them about it, but anyways, I did. Hope you guys are going to like these type of series, and if you do, please be sure to click that like button for more. Peace!